The internet is such a funny place because who I am online is simply not who I am in person. It's a segment of me, you know, like it is a part of me, this person who can be funny or semi-intelligent, interesting, I guess. But in person, like I can hold a conversation, but I just have a lot of trouble keeping friends. I'm sitting here at 10 o'clock at night, kind of just thinking about how lonely I felt lately. And I felt lonely for a long time. I feel as though I felt lonely my whole life. Since I was a little girl, I've always felt like I didn't have friends. Even when I did have friends, I feel different. I feel like I have a hard time connecting, and I don't know if it's like a trauma response. I just always felt like it's very hard for me to connect with others on a deep level. And you know, there are those few people that I really connect with over the years, you know, like my best friend Sierra, this girl I was best friends with and who I was in love with, her name was Eve, this girl Cassidy, Jenny. There are a few people that I genuinely connect with and feel like I can be myself with. And I don't know if it's an insecurity thing, maybe, like, because I just don't like myself, so I distance myself. I don't know. Maybe it's because I moved around a lot as a kid. I don't know. It's frustrating. Like, I desperately want to connect with people, and now that I'm in cosmetology school, it's exciting because I'm around all girls, and like female friendship is probably my favorite form of friendship ever. I feel like every man I've ever been friends with has wanted to fuck me, and that's been really annoying. There have been very, very few men that I've been friends with who didn't want to fuck me. Anyways, just kind of back to what I was saying. It's not just like a relationship lonely thing. Of course, I would love to love someone. I'm so full of love. I feel like I was put on the planet to love. I love my son, like I love my child, but obviously like that's not romantic love, so it's different. I want someone to come home to at the end of the day. I want my person. I still believe that they're out there, even though I don't know who they are or what they're doing. I feel lonely on like a friendship level too. Like, I just want to connect with someone. I just want one good friend. And like, I have good friends. None of them live near me. All of my most best friends, which is like 2 people, and then I have 1 internet bestie, Sierra and Jenny, both live in different states. And then my internet bestie also lives in another state. Oh, and then my other bestie, a friend that I made this year actually, at work, him and his wife, and I was just befriending his wife right before they left, just a few weeks before they moved. They also live in another state. And also like knowing that I'm moving in like a year and a half, I think is making it hard for me to want to make friends. You know, like I want to connect with someone, but it's also hard because I know I'm gonna leave. But then once I get to Georgia, how do I know I want to stay there forever? Because the whole reason I'm moving to Georgia is so that I can continue to be close to my family, because my brother and his wife are having a child next month actually, and I want to be close to my brother because I love my brother, but I also want our boys to grow up having cousins because I did not grow up having cousins. My aunts had their kids much later in life because my mom started out really young. She was 15 when she had me, and so I did not grow up with cousins my age or whatever. So I want my child to kind of have that close family bond, but then it's hard because I have never in my life stayed in one place for very long. What if I get to Georgia and I don't like it and I want to leave? And my brother's in the military, so he might move in 3 years or something, I don't know. But then it's like, I don't want to not be around my parents because I have their grandchild. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many things. I just don't know. One thing that's cool though is I have been looking forward to things lately, like being old. I never ever thought that I would even live to be 25. And recently I've been thinking a lot about what I'm gonna do after my son moves out of the house. Now, I don't know when he's gonna move. I'm not gonna kick him out at 18 or anything. Well, it depends if he's being a little shit or like a bad person. But I don't think he's gonna grow up to be someone who I dislike enough to boot them out of my house. So if he moves out, let's say he's 22, let's say he goes to college and continues living with his mommy. Then I'll be 46. I'll probably still be working as a cosmetologist. I don't know if I'll own a home. At that point, I probably will. Let's say I do have a house. Let's say I want to keep the house. My ultimate goal in life is to live in like a high-rise apartment. That's not like my ultimate life goal, but like that's a big thing that I want to do. I want to live in a high-rise apartment in a big city. And I want to have big windows where I can paint. Like kind of like my last apartment, except I was on the second floor, but I loved that apartment. Not my last apartment with my son's biological dad, but like my very first apartment that I had to myself. It was a beautiful apartment. This is my apartment, which I loved so dearly and I miss. If I think about it too much, I'll cry. It was really expensive to live there. But I would like to do that. Maybe in the summers, I'll go rent an apartment in a city and I'll get my coffees every day and I'll paint and I'll just take every day, one day at a time. I'll just be doing things for me. Oh my gosh, did I do it? I did it. I would also like to have a van at that point. So maybe like take 2 weeks out of the year every year to go travel in my van. I'd like to go see the different things that America has to offer. I don't have a passport and I know like people are really judgmental about Americans. They don't want to travel, they don't have a passport, whatever. I do want to travel, I just don't have the funds to do something like that at the moment. And I also just am not living the correct lifestyle to be traveling as a single mother, you know? I would really like to get a passport, leave the country, and go see what other countries have to offer. I would like to really hone in on my craft with art as well, and painting. I really enjoy painting. I've really enjoyed painting lately, especially over the past month or so. Every day I painted. I made time to paint for like a week and a half. And I know that probably is like, girl, what the fuck? Like, you're not doing that much. But I've never been able to sustain the attention for art like that. I really love painting. I don't know what happened in the last, I think it's because I'm single again and my son is like sleeping through the night and like different factors, but I've really been enjoying creating lately. I think it's also because I like the things that I'm making. I'm not making anything for Instagram. I'm not making anything for content. I don't feel like pressure to create my art right now. I'm just kind of doing it because I like it. I'm also not trying to like make anything that big groups of people like because I don't care about being marketable. I just care about doing the thing that I enjoy, which is painting. Sorry, I can never keep like one track. I tend to do tangents, as I'm sure you can tell. All that to say, I just want to focus on my art in my older age. Of course, I'm gonna put in time now, but I also need to make money real bad right now. I can't put in all the time that I would like to. One of my favorite artists, her name is Mika. She's from Australia. She's 23, 24. Full-time artist, and I think that shit is so cool. I've gone through spurts of unemployment where I just said I was a full-time artist, but I was not. And I never was motivated enough to just be a full-time artist. I think it's so cool when people get to finally achieve that status of like being a full-time artist. It takes a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of, you know, you gotta really want something bad enough. And I've always had like a type B type of personality where it's like I want to do just enough. I don't really want to grind. I guess I just never wanted it bad enough. But I'm frustrating myself the more I talk. So anyways, I haven't seen my therapist in like, I don't think she even works the place I used to go. I haven't seen her since July. Used to see her once every 2 weeks or once every week, and then she kind of disappeared. Something to do with her doctorate or something, because she was in the middle of her program, so she was like my therapist under someone else. I miss her. I'm kind of, you know, struggling right now. That's another thing, like I don't want to restart with a new therapist, and I think I'm just being a big baby about it, because I definitely like lately especially have needed help. Anyways, I am going to continue doing this. I hope you enjoy this video. If you want to subscribe. If you don't, no, that's okay. So it's just kind of a stream of consciousness, and I was listening to something and kind of just sparked my train of thought talking about my loneliness. And I know we're in like a loneliness and like friend epidemic or something. Just thought I'd like to share some of my thoughts. I tend to, on my private story on Instagram, yap a lot of about every single thought that I ever had in my entire life, which is fun. I'm sure it's pretty annoying for the people on there, but this is kind of like a peek into my close friend story on Instagram, if you're wondering. This is who I am. Anyways, I'm gonna go. I love you and good night.